What if your sister never came home from a normal school morning? On February 18, 2019, Rebecca Reusch, a 15-year-old girl from Berlin, Germany, stayed overnight at her sister's house. The next morning, when the family thought she had gone to school, she never arrived. Her backpack and phone were missing, but there were no clear signs of struggle. Rebecca was described as bright, friendly, and active on social media. Her sudden disappearance shocked Germany and triggered one of the largest missing person searches in recent years. To this day, she has never been found. Very early in the investigation, police focused on Rebecca's brother-in-law, who was the last known person to see her alive. Phone records placed him near a forest and highway on the morning Rebecca vanished, raising suspicion. Investigators believed he may have driven with her body in his car. He was arrested twice, but released both times due to a lack of solid evidence. While many remain convinced of his involvement, others insist there is not enough proof. The shadow of suspicion has never fully left Rebecca's family circle. Police launched huge search operations across Berlin and Brandenburg. Helicopters, dogs, and divers scoured forests, rivers, and lakes, but found nothing. Hundreds of volunteers joined in, searching every possible hiding place. Investigators even looked into online contacts, wondering if Rebecca had run away with someone she met on the internet. But no credible trail ever appeared. Despite thousands of tips from the public, not a single confirmed sighting of Rebecca has been made since the morning she vanished. It was as if she had simply disappeared into thin air. Some believe she was a victim of foul play, most likely involving her brother-in-law. Others suggest she may have been groomed online and left voluntarily with a stranger. Still, her close ties to her family make the runaway theory unlikely. The German public followed the case intensely, with daily headlines and TV coverage. Rebecca's photo became one of the most recognized faces in Germany. But with no body and no definitive clues, theories only fueled arguments, speculation, and painful debates about what went wrong. More than 4 years later, the disappearance of Rebecca Reusch remains unsolved. Her family still holds on to hope, celebrating her birthday every year and keeping her memory alive. Police occasionally reopen searches with new technology, but so far, no breakthroughs have come. The brother-in-law remains the main suspect, yet is legally free. Rebecca's case is now one of Germany's most infamous cold cases, haunting both her family and the public. Until the truth emerges, Rebecca remains another teenager whose story ended in a painful mystery. What if someone you loved disappeared on an ordinary school day? On April 12, 2016, Mekayla Bali, a 16-year-old high school student from Yorkton, Saskatchewan, Canada, left for school as usual. Instead of going to class, she spent the day wandering around town, visiting a bank, a pawn shop, and a restaurant. Surveillance cameras captured her at multiple locations, carrying her purple backpack and phone. By the afternoon, she seemed to vanish without a trace. What makes Mekayla's case so haunting is that she disappeared in broad daylight, yet no one knows where she went. That morning, she withdrew money from her bank account, tried to pawn jewelry, and was seen texting on her phone. At one point, she asked strangers for help getting a ride to Saskatchewan, a city 2 hours away. Witnesses reported her talking nervously about meeting someone. Security footage shows her at a bus depot, checking schedules, but she never boarded a bus. These scattered movements raised questions. Was she planning to run away, or was she meeting someone dangerous? The mystery deepened with every uncovered detail. Investigators discovered she had used social media apps like Kik and Snapchat to talk with strangers. She often confided in friends about wanting to leave town or start fresh somewhere else. Police believe she may have been groomed by someone posing as a friend or boyfriend. The idea that she willingly went to meet someone makes her case especially frightening. Online predators are a serious threat, and Mekayla's disappearance highlights how quickly digital conversations can turn deadly. But no trace of such a person was ever found. Despite massive searches, posters, and media coverage, Mekayla has never been found. Police followed leads across Canada and even the United States, but none proved solid. Dozens of tips claimed to spot her in different provinces, but all were dead ends. Investigators have released her surveillance footage multiple times, hoping someone recognizes her or the person she may have met. Yet nobody, no phone, and no clear evidence has surfaced. For her family, every passing year brings more heartbreak, but also more determination to keep looking. Today, she is one of Canada's most famous missing persons cases. Her family continues to search tirelessly, organizing awareness campaigns and urging people to remember her face. Theories range from voluntary runaway to human trafficking, but without answers, hope and grief remain side by side. The haunting surveillance images of her last day are burned into the minds of investigators and the public. Until the truth is revealed, the disappearance of Mekayla Bali will remain a chilling reminder of how someone can vanish in plain sight, leaving behind only a mystery. What if a young researcher uncovered secrets too dangerous to reveal? In 2016, Giulio Regeni, a 28-year-old Italian PhD student at the University of Cambridge, was living in Cairo, Egypt. He was studying Egypt's trade unions, a sensitive topic in a country where dissent was tightly controlled. Giulio was passionate, determined, and deeply curious about the struggles of Egyptian workers. However, his work also drew attention from authorities, who frequently viewed such research with skepticism. On January 25, 2016, the anniversary of Egypt's revolution, Giulio disappeared on his way to meet a friend. He would never be seen alive again. 9 days after his disappearance, on February 3, 2016, Giulio's body was discovered in a ditch on the outskirts of Cairo. The sight was horrifying. His body bore signs of torture, broken bones, burns, and deep cuts. Autopsy reports showed he had suffered for days before his death. The brutality shocked both Egypt and Italy. To many, the marks of torture suggested state involvement, since such methods resembled those used by Egyptian security forces. Giulio's murder quickly escalated into a major international scandal. From the start, suspicions focused on Egypt's police and intelligence services. Witnesses claimed Giulio had been under surveillance before his disappearance. His research into independent unions, considered a threat to the regime, likely placed him in danger. Egyptian authorities initially denied involvement, offering contradictory explanations. Some suggested Giulio was killed in a robbery, while others blamed criminals. But the level of torture pointed to a professional interrogation, not a random crime. Italian investigators accused Egypt of a cover-up, fueling anger and protests in both countries. Giulio's murder created a rift between Italy and Egypt. Italy recalled its ambassador, demanding full cooperation and transparency. Yet Egyptian officials continued to block investigations, refusing to hand over key evidence. In Italy, Giulio's death sparked nationwide outrage, with citizens demanding justice under the slogan "Verità per Giulio Regeni," truth for Giulio Regeni. The case became a symbol of the dangers faced by journalists, researchers, and activists in authoritarian states. For many, Giulio's killing exposed not just one crime, but a system of repression and fear. Years later, the murder of Giulio Regeni remains unresolved. Italian prosecutors charged several members of Egypt's security agencies, but Egyptian authorities refused to extradite them. Trials in Italy have been delayed, and the suspects remain beyond the reach of justice. Giulio's parents continue to fight, demanding answers for their son. His story stands as one of the most chilling reminders of the risks faced by those who challenge power. Until the full truth is revealed, Giulio Regeni's name will remain a haunting symbol of injustice and silenced voices.